Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Life of Paola. Now, before I jump into today's video, I just want to kind of give a reintroduction to my channel. In this channel, I will basically talk about all things that have to do with my life, marriage, family, work. It will also cover skincare. We'll maybe even throw in some styling or some fashion. And then I will, of course, also be talking about my cancer journey and life after cancer, because there is life after cancer. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. So if you're watching this video, chances are either you have recently been diagnosed with breast cancer or someone that you know has been diagnosed with breast cancer. And if that is the case, then I am sorry to hear that, because coming from someone who is going through treatment, those initial first few days, weeks, and even months are rough. So if you personally are going through breast cancer right now, maybe you just recently got diagnosed, take a moment, take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out, and just remember that you are here today. Today is a gift in and of itself. No one is promised a tomorrow, disease or no disease. No one is promised a tomorrow. So the fact that you are here right now, that is a gift. And that is something that I try to exercise daily when I wake up. I remind myself that I am breathing, I am alive, I get another day of life. God's not finished with me yet. And that serves as a big motivator for me, especially on those rough days. So, cancer at 28. I got diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer in January of 2023. However, I discovered the lump on my right breast in November of 2022. I was doing just my routine breast exam in the shower, and I felt something in this area, and it was so small. I mean, it was just tiny little lump that I felt. But I knew that when I felt it, it just didn't sit well with me. I just had this weird feeling in my stomach, and I decided that same night I made an appointment with my doctor to get it looked at. My insurance, if you have Kaiser, then you know that sometimes Kaiser takes, quite a while to get appointments booked. So my appointment was a few weeks away. So I go in for my appointment, and the doctor does just a hand exam, and he also confirms that he feels something. However, given my age and the fact that I had no history of breast cancer or really any cancer in my family, he said that it was probably nothing to worry about. He asked me other questions, whether I felt any discomfort or pain. And I did, I did have some discomfort in that area. So he ordered me a ultrasound. Fast forward, that was already reaching end of November. So it was the day before Thanksgiving that I went in for my ultrasound. And I remember going in feeling really nervous. And I remember, the ultrasound tech just going around and then going over that area where I had felt the lump. And I very vividly remember her just saying the words, "Oh, I see what you're talking about." So hearing that kind of just really stirred up a lot of emotions as I was, laying there. And it kind of just confirmed, that there was indeed something there. And of course, she's not allowed to say, whether it's this or that. She just said, "Oh, I see what you're talking about." And so yeah, she got some images, and one thing that she did was she accidentally left the ultrasound images up on the screen. So she finished the ultrasound and she said, "Okay, go ahead and get dressed and you're good to go." So I got dressed and I looked at the ultrasound screen and I saw that the images were still up there. And this is the image that I snapped a picture of. I saw it, I saw something like circular. I snapped a picture of it, and I decided to jump ahead and try to research my own, by myself, what it could be. I uploaded the photo onto Google, and I did a Google reverse search image. I think that's what it's called, where basically you upload a photo to Google and then it pulls up photos of things that look like that. So I got a few images that came up, and one of the most common one was fibroadenoma, which is pretty much a benign tumor. So that's what came up, and yeah, sure enough, the next day, which is Thanksgiving Day, I got the result via email. So based on what he saw, that it was most likely a fibroadenoma, which is a benign tumor. Now, the thing that got me though was that he put in the notes, probably benign. So that's what it said, probably benign. It didn't say for sure it was benign. It said probably. And he put that he wanted to see me back in 6 months for another ultrasound to see if it grew. Now that didn't sit very well with me, the fact that it said probably. And again, I was experiencing discomfort in this area. I was experiencing pain, so I knew that wasn't very normal. So that caused me to push for more answers. I was unhappy with that diagnosis, so I called my insurance and I said that I wanted a second opinion. And sure enough, a few days later, I got a phone call from another doctor who asked me some more questions regarding the lump that I felt. I expressed to them that I was not satisfied with the response from the first doctor. It's saying probably benign. I also expressed to this doctor that I had discomfort in the area where the lump was found and that I was getting pain every now and then, sharp pains. So that doctor then said that if I would like to get it removed surgically, that he would schedule me an appointment with a surgeon to get it removed. And I said, yes, let's do it. Let's get it removed. Even if it's a benign tumor, I don't feel comfortable having it in my body, so let's get it out. So I went in December, I believe. I went in for my consultation with the surgeon. So by now, this is my third appointment, okay? By now, my third appointment with the surgeon to hopefully get the tumor removed. And the surgeon, asked me questions again. Any family history of cancer? No. Looked at my health history, pretty healthy. So he said, okay, well, if it bothers you that much, let's get it removed. And he said, but before we remove it, I want to get it biopsied. And he said, I'm 99% sure it's nothing, but there's that 1% chance that it could be cancer. And, he said, I just want to be sure that, it's not cancer, because if it is, and we go with, just getting it removed and we find out that it is cancer, then we have to go in for a second surgery. So he didn't want to possibly go in for 2 surgeries. So in January, I went in for my biopsy, and I remember just, being super nervous. I went through with it, obviously. And I remember just being kind of met with hesitation by the doctor who was performing the biopsy. I remember laying on the bed, and before he injected my breast to be numbed and to start the procedure, I remember him telling me, it's so small, why are you getting it removed? Why don't you wait, the 6 months and then come back to see if it grows? And when he told me that, I almost agreed, and I almost said, okay, never mind, just kidding. Yeah, you know what? Let's wait. I don't want to do this anymore. But thankfully, one of the nurses spoke up on my behalf and said, reiterated the fact that I had mentioned that I had been feeling pain from that lump that was there. So the doctor then said, okay, let's do it. After my biopsy was done, the doctor said, you will probably hear, early next week. So I left and I went home. Next day comes, and I remember I did not go to work the following day because I was, having some discomfort from the biopsy. And I remember I got a phone call, and I recognized the number. It was, from Kaiser. And I remember when I saw the number, I just knew that it was, not good news, because number one, they were calling me already the next day. And number two, typically when you hear back very soon or when you get a phone call, it's not really good. Picked up the phone. It was the surgeon who, asked me if it was a good time to talk. I said, yeah. And then he basically said, that they got the biopsy results back and that it turned out to be breast cancer. Everything else that he said after that blanked out. I just remember I just started immediately crying. It's just the emotion that came in that very moment. And thankfully I wasn't home alone. Thankfully my husband was home with me. And yeah, I just remember him saying it was breast cancer. And then at the very end of the call, he said that he'll be setting up an appointment for me to go in person to figure out the next steps. That is kind of just the beginning of, how my cancer journey looked. I will be doing a separate video to talk about what came after, the choice that I made for the surgery that I had. But as of today, I already had my lumpectomy. I had my surgery with the lymph node removal. They removed the tumor successfully. I had clear margins, which means that there was no indication that the cancer had spread. And now I am just going through chemotherapy to make sure that there's no cancer left at a molecular level. So thankfully, as of February of 2023, the cancer has been removed from my body. So I'm gonna wrap up this video here. I kind of talked a lot, and I hope that, if you got anything from this, it's that it is so important to advocate for your health, advocate for yourself, especially in the medical field. It's so important to just speak up when something doesn't feel right to you, because at the end of the day, again, you know your body more better than anyone else. That completes today's video. Thank you for watching. If you are interested in following this journey and hearing the rest of my story with surgery, all of those different things, then make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you can be following along on this journey, and hit the bell button too if you want to be notified when my next video goes up. I'm going to aim to do 1 video a week. So thank you again for staying for the duration of this video and for watching, and I wish you the best. If it is someone that you know, or if it is you who is currently going through breast cancer, I send you a huge hug, and I just want to remind you that, again, you're here today, you have a purpose, and to just take each day at a time. If there's one thing that cancer teaches one, is that life is precious, tomorrow is not guaranteed, and each day is a gift. So have an awesome day or night, and I'll see you next time. Bye.